Mhm. Alors, 2 secondes. Ouais, rip. 2 secondes. Laissez-moi juste brancher, débrancher. Pourtant, c'est bizarre. 2 secondes. Non. Est-ce que vous m'entendez encore ou pas? Ouais, vous m'entendez encore? Ouais, c'est bon. Bon, encore un truc que je vais devoir couper sur le montage quand je le sortirai. 2 secondes, 2 secondes, 2 secondes. Au moins, vous avez la musique du jeu, ça vous fera pas santé. Une voix off avec la voix de l'enfant. Alors, pourquoi vous êtes en... Ah, voilà. Ça commence avec la voix off de l'enfant et ça commence devant la baraque, effectivement. Alors, 2 secondes. Voilà. Donc, vous m'entendez encore. C'est parfait. Pourquoi, par contre, la caméra, elle est totalement fraise. Voilà. Ok, bon. Tant pis pour la caméra. Tant pis pour la caméra. Ok, c'est bon, on peut reprendre. Je couperai tout ça au montage quand je foutrai tout ça sur YouTube. Donc ouais, vraiment cool pour l'instant. Assez, assez bizarre, je t'avouerai. Donc, y a rien à apprendre. Donc ouais, on en apprend sur chaque membre de la famille. Comme tu peux le voir ici. On a vu Molly, on a vu Barbara, on vient de voir Barbara, on a vu le Odin. Et on a vu Calvin qui est mort en s'envolant de sa balançoire. Voilà. Il nous reste quelques personnages quand même à découvrir. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ok. De toute façon, tu regarderas la
I guess
rediff
now I
sur
know why
YouTube.
Mom didn't like me
La
playing
mort
with the
nulle.
music box.
Donc ouais, toutes les chambres sont scellées.
Edie's father Odin built the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Toutes les pièces sont scellées.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
On ira après. On sait qu'elle est là-bas. Ça, on l'a fait. Ah bah non, attendez. On va descendre. Non, on va monter et ensuite on fera le. On garde le meilleur pour la fin.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Ah, bon, faut qu'on descende. Il y a des bouteilles de pinard, mais en veux-tu, en voilà. Ah, j'ai pas vu la scie avec la peinture dessus. Voilà. Et non, Laurel n'est plus ici. Hein. L'ambiance est chouette. Non, il n'y a rien à récupérer, vous inquiétez pas, c'est juste que je regarde. Un peu de droite à gauche.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Truc typique américain, le contreplaqué comme ça.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
J'adore le fait que la typo, comme je disais, s'efface comme ça.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done
On serait dans
waiting.
Lost.
I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Ah, t'inquiète, mon poulet. Ouais, il est cool le jeu. Mais là, on sera vraiment dans Lost, dans le deuxième épisode, dans le premier épisode de la saison 2.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed
Ouais, je
Barbara
kiffe ce jeu.
and Molly and Calvin.
Hammer time!
Maybe this
Pardon.
is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Putain, sympa l'ambiance.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else.
Ah, je serais même pas descendu tout court.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Le petit train sur la croix, c'est pas... Ouais, c'est pas très... C'est moyen, quoi.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Donc on se rappelle que la tentacule est passée par là-bas. Voilà. Il y avait une histoire de tentacule.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
T'aimes bien l'ambiance pour l'instant ou pas? Enfin, vous aimez bien l'ambiance? Encore un jeu que tu ne feras pas, Sandy, c'est ça?
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Derpy Junior, Derpy, Burpy, Sherpy, Furpy, Lerpy, Zerpy.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Truc à faire avec l'arbre et le trou peut-être.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ah, d'accord. Bah, marchons sur le verre, allons-y. Faut en profiter.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Non,
Wait.
non.
What?
Coucou.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
Did you want to get a picture of me or what?
Ah, mais t'es où?
Come on already. I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's this. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
That's the keeper.
Pardon.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be
Qui l'aurait pas fait?
You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot,
Ah, c'est
get a
du
picture.
pipi, t'es mort de rire. Hein. Salaud.
Dad,
Make it beautiful.
Tu veux savoir comment est mort le père de Bambi? Pas comme ça.
do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Attends, hop, par là. Hop.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Eh bah bordel.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Je vais juste voir s'il y a pas d'autres trucs à côté de mon personnage. Merci à Cindy d'être passée, ça me fait plaisir. De toute façon, tu
Instead of
rattraperas le
hiding
reste.
from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to
Mais
meet
je pense
it.
que ça peut te plaire au final. C'est lent, mais. En tout cas, passe un bon week-end. Et des bisous à Sam Sam. Il n'y en a pas.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Ok.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Bon. Voilà. Putain, c'est... C'est bien vénère. Ah, je pensais pas du tout aussi... Bah non. Non. Waouh.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. Father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone. Just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Oh, l'Iroquois de Gus.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Ah merde, je peux pas faire de capture, je sais pas compléter capture d'écran avec ça. Voilà. C'est bon. J'aime beaucoup le dessin.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Non. Il y a forcément un truc à dire. Allez.
was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Alors, je vois pas d'habiter là-dedans.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Tout est conservé.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Non, 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 reviens, 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 reviens. Ah! Non, ah, mais je veux voir le synthé! C'est bon? J'aime pas le synthé.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Alors, il y a la capsule de bière, mais il n'y a pas de bière. Putain, j'avoue, la salle de stream, elle est parfaite.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker. he began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Ouais, c'est très très intéressant, c'est lourd. Enfin, c'est pas
Including the wise Calico
vénère.
who had insisted on inviting me.
La musique. Ouais, c'est vrai. Mais t'inquiète, on en parlera pas à la fin, mais on en parlera. Mais
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
ouais, ça, je disais, ça, une salle de stream, c'est parfait. Hein. Tu changes les affiches, tu mets autre chose. Juste la vue que tu as.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Oh, quand t'es gosse, tous ces petits
thing
passages.
you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Il manque Dawn, il manque Eddie.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
Oh.
They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Attends. Jeffrey Russo. Ok. Genova Fen. Tinopathie. Bah, waouh. Désolé, je vois ça. Je m'attendais pas à un jeu aussi waouh, prenant. Vraiment, comme j'avais dit, je m'étais pas spoilé, je m'étais presque pas renseigné dessus. Et bonne grosse claque. J'avoue que le début, on s'est un peu marré là. On rigole beaucoup. On rigole vraiment moins. Non, vraiment extraordinaire ça. La narration est tellement bien pensée. Les histoires sont bien mélancoliques, bien amenées. Les morts sont assez sales. Quelques lectures un peu à droite à gauche qui à faire, mais j'ai beaucoup aimé ce jeu. Je m'attendais pas à avoir une aussi grosse claque en fait. Alors c'est vrai que c'est pas un jeu que je mettrais dans les mains de tout le monde, mais putain, je comprends pourquoi tu l'as aimé ça, non? Vraiment très bien. Pour l'instant, je suis encore sous le choc. Je sais pas trop quoi dire. J'ai du mal à organiser mes idées. Mais vraiment très prenant. Vraiment très prenant. Vraiment, la narration est géniale. L'histoire est cool. J'ai du mal à réfléchir. J'ai du mal à réfléchir, mais en tout cas j'espère que ça vous a plu. Et pour les personnes qui le verront sur YouTube, j'espère que ça vous plaira. N'hésitez pas à les mettre en commentaire sur YouTube. Ça sortira d'ici une semaine ou deux. Mais j'ai beaucoup aimé. Et merci Seth de ne pas m'avoir spoilé. Le tout en seulement 2 heures, ouais, je l'ai fait en 2h30. À peu près. Ouais, effectivement, juste essentiel sans remplissage. Effectivement, on va droit au but. Et t'es bien guidé. La maison est magnifique, hein. Vraiment, comme j'ai dit, si t'es un gosse et que tu vis là-dedans, tout ce que tu peux faire. Et non, la musique, comme je vous dis, incroyable. En fait, j'avais écouté la musique avant d'acheter le jeu et ça a très bien avec. Ça aurait été horrible si j'avais fait ça. Comment ça? Mais voilà, j'espère qu'il vous a plu. Je suis désolé, pour l'instant, j'arrive pas trop à réfléchir. Mais j'ai peut-être pensé, c'est un pote à moi qui m'a fait penser à ça, peut-être faire des reviews des streams en fait. Pendant 5 minutes, genre quelques jours plus tard, faire une petite review. Et voir si on va pas commencer avec celui-ci, avec ce jeu-là, que je mettrai sur YouTube en disant tiens, on va tester ce jeu-là, n'hésitez pas à le voir sur YouTube. Et on peut écrire vous dire ce que j'en ai pensé. Après mettre là, c'est du temps, enfin, à l'instant T. Ah oui, ça aurait été horrible si tu m'avais caché la fin, enfin l'histoire. Non, j'ai beaucoup aimé, c'est vraiment très touchant. C'est très touchant, j'ai beaucoup aimé l'histoire comment ça s'appelle, de Lewis. Et, enfin la manière dont le gameplay est fait. L'histoire, la narration est faite. Non, tout est touchant. Calvin, c'était un peu bizarre le fait de pas comprendre comment faire marcher l'histoire. Grégory, putain, ce passage-là, tellement bien. Enfin, pas l'histoire, mais le gameplay sur l'histoire de Grégory était génial, la musique. Ça collait parfaitement, c'était très bien imaginé. Barbara aussi, j'aimais bien le coup de la BD. J'ai vu le fait commencer aussi par Molly, c'était très bizarre de jouer une sorte de monstre comme ça. Et en fait, j'ai pas compris la manière dont elle était morte en fait. C'est ça j'ai pas compris. Et en fait, c'est au fur et à mesure que tu comprends qu'on va raconter l'histoire, la mort des personnages. Donc ouais, Molly, je pense que je vais le refaire et on verra. Parce qu'on parle d'un truc sous son lit, machin, elle a été mangée par quoi? Elle a mangé du hou. Ah oui, c'est bien ce que je voulais, oui, elle a mangé du dentifrice, elle a mangé du hou, et effectivement, elle est morte. À cause de ça, c'est vrai. Et en plus, j'avais dit pendant le stream, non mais en fait le hou c'est un poison donc faut pas en manger. Oui, effectivement, j'avais complètement zappé de faire le lien en fait. Et non, vraiment très bien. Très bien ce jeu, je vous le conseille. En tout cas, là vous avez vu le stream donc vous l'avez vécu pas en même temps que moi mais presque. Enfin, ceux qui l'ont vu en stream avec moi, tant mieux. Ceux qui le verront sur YouTube, tant mieux aussi. Vous allez découvrir un magnifique jeu. Vous avez découvert un magnifique jeu. Voilà, comment dire. Même la chambre avec les jumeaux et leur graduation sur la porte, ouais, c'est très touchant. Bah. Ouais, les détails sont super cool, vraiment. L'accident du train est bien vénère aussi. Non, c'est très prenant, c'est très touchant. Je m'attendais pas à ça. Je m'attendais pas à un jeu aussi beau et aussi prenant. Et aussi rempli d'émotions. Enfin, vraiment à la fin, je piffais pas un mot. Hein. J'étais tellement concentré dedans. J'étais vraiment pris dedans. Voilà. Je vais. Ced, est-ce que tu veux qu'on se fasse un truc? Est-ce que tu veux qu'on se fasse du Garry's Mod? Histoire de changer un peu de jeu. Ouais, je pense que on va s'arrêter là. En tout cas pour ce stream là. On va reprendre juste après. Garry's Mod, je le mettrai pas sur YouTube. Ça sert à rien. Mais voilà, j'espère qu'il vous a plu. Peut-être que je ferai une review. C'est presque une bonne chose en fait pour compléter la chaîne YouTube. Effectivement que mes lives Twitch soient bien liés avec la chaîne YouTube en fait. Ce serait une bonne idée de faire des reviews après les jeux streamés. Pourquoi pas, je vais y penser, je vais en toucher un mot les deux acolytes. Mais voilà. Mais voilà, en tout cas, j'espère que ça vous a plu. Je vous fais des bisous. Et enfin, pour ceux qui sont sur le stream, on se voit dans 3 minutes. J'arrive. Et voilà, donc des bisous. Et je vous conseille de bien écouter la vidéo chez vous. Elle est vraiment dingue. Bisous.